Some homes reveal everything at first glance, but the most memorable ones make you want to keep walking. A quiet facade, a partially hidden entrance, and a flash of greenery behind glass can create just enough mystery to pull you closer. Then the mood begins to change as daylight, stone, timber, and garden views gradually appear throughout the interior. This is where modern indoor-outdoor living becomes less about showing off the house and more about making every arrival feel like a discovery.
Before we delve into our exploration, allow us to extend a warm welcome back to Amica Studio. For those joining us for the first time, we invite you to subscribe for more captivating insights into home and interior design inspiration.
Modern indoor-outdoor homes with central garden spaces, open rooms, and warm natural finishes. Imagine sitting in the living room while sunlight shifts across the floor, or preparing dinner as an open doorway brings fresh air in from the terrace. Glass walls can frame trees and sky, while private bedrooms and bathrooms remain protected behind screens, planting, or carefully placed walls. The kitchen becomes part of daily conversation. Quieter rooms offer somewhere to withdraw, and the garden never feels completely separate from the interior. Each space has its own purpose, yet the whole home continues to feel connected. The most surprising moment often appears deeper inside, where a hidden courtyard opens unexpectedly beneath the sky. One tree, a small patch of planting, or a narrow light well can completely change how the surrounding rooms feel throughout the day. After sunset, warm lighting brings out the texture of stone and timber, while softly illuminated leaves remain visible beyond the glass. More than a modern home design idea, this is an invitation to imagine a slower, calmer way of living where nature becomes part of ordinary life. 1. A calm entrance that reveals itself slowly. A slim roofline and a few planted edges can already suggest that something more private is waiting beyond the facade. Instead of showing the whole interior at once, narrow panes of glass can offer small views of trees, textured walls, or soft evening light. Gravel underfoot, low stone boundaries, and relaxed ornamental grasses help the approach feel natural rather than overly staged. The entrance gains character when solid surfaces and greenery are allowed to alternate instead of competing for attention. Even on a small lot, this gradual sequence can make the journey to the door feel more thoughtful and inviting. Closer to the house, warmer materials can soften the sharper geometry of the exterior. A recessed doorway framed with timber, stone, or textured plaster gives the arrival a more personal scale while also providing shelter from sun and rain. Placing the front door slightly away from direct street view can strengthen privacy without making the home feel closed off. Tall planters, a slim screen, or one carefully positioned tree can create the same effect without major construction. By the time someone reaches the threshold, the outside world already feels quieter, and the interior begins to suggest a stronger connection with nature. Two, living spaces that shift with the day. Comfort should guide the placement of glazing just as much as appearance. A deep roof edge, timber screen, or leafy planting control glare while preserving the open feeling of the room. Positioning a sofa between a garden view and a fireplace creates a layout that works equally well during bright afternoons or cooler evenings. Rain moving down the glass can become part of the experience while the interior remains calm and protected. Rather than adding glass everywhere, using it only where light, privacy, and views improve the room usually produces a more balanced result. Sheer curtains can soften the morning sun before stronger shadows begin moving across the room later in the afternoon. A window facing a tree or planted corner often creates a more relaxing view than one directed toward a plain neighboring wall. Large areas of glass work best when they frame selected scenery rather than simply exposing every side of the room. Pale flooring and restrained furniture allow changing daylight to become part of the atmosphere without overwhelming the space. As the hours pass, the room feels slightly different each time, giving everyday routines a more natural rhythm. Three, a kitchen that extends into everyday life. Morning activity feels easier when the kitchen has a clear relationship with the dining area and the outdoors. A preparation island can remain central while pendant lighting, ceiling changes, or a rug quietly separates nearby functions. Opening a door toward a small terrace lets fresh air and daylight enter without requiring a completely open floor plan. The most useful layouts allow food preparation, conversation, and casual meals to happen close together without making the room feel crowded. Even modest kitchens can feel more social when the main workspace has an easy connection to both family seating and an outdoor table. By evening, the same connection can make the dining space feel larger without adding more floor area. Wide sliding doors are ideal, but a simple, generous doorway can also create a strong relationship with a patio or covered terrace. Warm lighting above the table keeps the interior intimate, while low outdoor fixtures draw attention toward planting beyond. Matching a few materials across the threshold, such as similar flooring tones or furniture finishes, helps both areas read as one relaxed setting. When movement between cooking, eating, and sitting outside feels effortless, the home becomes much more adaptable to daily routines and informal gatherings. Four, private rooms made for slower moments. Bathrooms can use nature in a more controlled way through frosted glass, screened openings, or small planted courtyards. A quiet chair beside a nearby window can also turn an unused corner into a place for reading or pausing during the day. Privacy can come from angled walls, tall plants, and layered screens, rather than from closing every window with heavy coverings. Soft daylight entering from above or from one protected side helps these rooms feel open without making them exposed. Together, these smaller retreats prove that openness and seclusion can exist comfortably within the same home. A bedroom often feels calmer when its main view points toward planting rather than toward circulation spaces or neighboring buildings. Soft linen, natural timber, and a quiet wall color can support the mood without distracting from the landscape outside. Even a narrow strip of greenery beside a window can create enough visual separation to make the room feel more protected. Placing the bed where morning light arrives gently can improve the sense of retreat without requiring a dramatic view. The strongest design choice may simply be removing visual noise, so rest becomes the room's clearest purpose. 5. A courtyard hidden within the house. Only after moving deeper inside does the home reveal a courtyard open to the sky. One tree, textured paving, and a few carefully grouped plants can be enough to give this central space a strong presence. From surrounding rooms, shifting sunlight and moving leaves create a view that changes without needing extra decoration. A narrow light well can achieve a similar effect when a full courtyard is not possible. What matters most is that the outdoor space feels deliberately connected to the interior, rather than treated as an unused gap between rooms. Daily life can gradually gather around this protected patch of landscape. A bench beneath a covered edge may become a place for morning coffee, while nearby rooms continue to look toward the same greenery. Instead of installing a large water feature, a shallow basin or simple gravel bed can provide texture with less maintenance. Low lighting beneath plants keeps the courtyard visible at night without making it overly bright. With enough shade, greenery, and visual access, even a compact courtyard can become the quiet center that connects several parts of the house. Six, texture and light after sunset. Smaller details become especially important when the house grows quieter in the evening. A smooth timber handle, an integrated bench, or a recessed shelf can add character without filling the space with objects. Instead of one strong ceiling light, several softer sources can support reading, circulation, and views toward the garden. Glass that appeared transparent during the day begins reflecting the interior while still, revealing occasional leaves or lights beyond. This combination of shadow, material, and restrained illumination gives the home a more intimate mood without changing its architecture. Once natural light fades, the character of stone, timber, fabric, and concrete becomes much more noticeable. Low furniture helps preserve views toward darkened gardens, while softer textiles keep the interior from feeling too hard or architectural. Concealed lighting can reveal uneven stone surfaces without making the wall itself look decorative or busy. Repeating just a few materials throughout the house creates a calmer effect than introducing a different finish in every room. At night, these familiar surfaces begin to carry much of the atmosphere through texture rather than color alone. Seven, a home that supports a different pace of living. The value of indoor-outdoor design becomes clearest in the way people use the rooms, rather than in the appearance of the architecture itself. Someone can work beside a courtyard while another person prepares food nearby, each remaining connected without occupying the same space. Open doors and easy circulation make it more natural for meals, conversations, and quiet moments to move between inside and outside. Clear views and access to fresh air can improve daily comfort even in a relatively compact home. When spaces allow people to gather or separate without effort, the layout begins supporting real life rather than simply presenting a polished image. Over time, the smallest experiences often become the most memorable parts of the house. Sunlight returning to the same wall, rain crossing a terrace, or a tree slowly growing beside the living room can give familiar spaces deeper meaning. A modest home with one sheltered garden may therefore feel more satisfying than a much larger house filled with rooms that are rarely used. Comfort comes from how naturally a place supports conversation, rest, privacy, and daily movement. In the end, indoor-outdoor living feels most successful when it gently changes the rhythm of ordinary life rather than trying to impress at every moment. Conclusion. A carefully planned modern home can feel open to nature while still protecting the privacy and quiet that everyday life needs. The journey begins with a restrained entrance, moves through light-filled living areas and a kitchen connected to the outdoors, then becomes calmer within bedrooms and other private retreats. At its center, a sheltered courtyard introduces sky, planting, and changing daylight into spaces that might otherwise feel enclosed. Stone, timber, soft fabrics, and restrained evening lighting strengthen that relationship once the sun disappears. Together, these elements create an indoor-outdoor home that feels connected, not because every room is completely open, but because each space maintains a thoughtful relationship with what lies beyond its walls. There is also no need to recreate the entire idea at once. Begin with one realistic improvement, such as directing a seating area toward greenery, adding plants beside a window, opening the dining room toward a small patio, or creating a quieter garden view from the bedroom. Over time, lighting, materials, screens, furniture, and additional planting can gradually strengthen the connection between interior rooms and outdoor spaces. Even one small courtyard or carefully framed garden can change how the surrounding rooms are experienced each day. The most rewarding home is ultimately one that gives ordinary moments enough space, light, and calm to become the memories you want to keep.